Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future anime and cartoon-related videos. So today we are talking about Rick and Morty Season 4, Episode 7. That's right, Episode 7. We're moving right along with this season. And let me tell you, I definitely enjoyed this a lot more than I did Episode 6. But before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for the 400 subscribers. Holy crap. It just amazes me that I even got to 400. Yet again, if you want that giveaway to happen, I need to get to 500 subscribers. So if you want the Szechuan sauce, give me the 500 subscribers, and we'll do a giveaway for you. I got 4 of those, so I can give away 4 of those. Anyway, back to Episode 7. This was very much so kind of a feel-good Predator alien type episode, if you will, and basically all of the creatures that attach themselves to everybody's faces, including Rick and Morty, basically what happens with that is we get a flashback to this too. So Rick, Morty, and Summer all go out on an adventure. And basically, they go to this planet, and Summer's like, hey, you probably shouldn't, look at those moist, disgusting-looking egg things. And then, of course, Rick and Morty, being the assholes that they are, go right up to them, and they clamp onto their faces. And basically, the entire gist of this species is they live for a half hour, they put an additional egg into their host, the host craps out an egg and they die. And that's basically all she wrote. That is the entire existence of this species up to this point. Now, Summer has a toothpick in her mouth. So every time they try to latch onto her, they get stabbed in the eyeball and instantly die. Over and over again, happens like 2 or 3 times until one of them eventually is like, hey, I've been alive for like, 10, 15 minutes here, and just take the toothpick out of her mouth. Somehow they have a concept of what a toothpick is, but then again, it's a cartoon, so I'm not looking into it too hard. Basically what happened, she was like, hey, you can just not lay an egg and actually, kind of live a lot longer. And basically they developed this whole fancy developed society based off of Rick's ship and the technology that he has, and they have this advanced civilization of people. They plan on spreading themselves all over the world and uniting as one. And it's like glip glorp or something. Some random word that I'm never going to remember what the heck it is ever again, because I doubt they're ever going to mention it again. They were actually talking about why they don't go to the same planet over and over again, and basically saying, yeah, we could go to the same planet over again, but that'd be boring. You know how many episodes we could do on the Purge planet or the Gear planet? But nah, we're not doing that. I'm a one-time guy. So he's basically saying, he was like, nope, I am going to these planets one time. That's it. That's all she wrote. Not going to happen again. And the only reason that Rick and Morty get out of this is because the one that's attached to Morty's face accidentally gets caught on a stalactite or stalagmite. I always forget which are which. One is hanging from the ceiling, one's coming out from the floor. And basically, it makes Morty conscious enough to rip it off of his face. It rips off. Then he rips the one off of Rick's face. Rick kills both of them, and they basically Star Wars the crap out of the entire planet. And there is some jokes in there that a little bit too soon. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a little bit too soon. Basically, treat Rick's ship as the Millennium Falcon. Morty's down there shooting everything up, killing a bunch of, technically they're innocent people, but they're being controlled by these crazy alien type things and blowing up everything. And then they finally get to a part where they're blowing up everything, and there's these 2 tall towers. And if you live in the United States, most of you know that represented the Twin Towers. And they were looking at each other and they were like, yeah, too soon. And then they keep flying, and then they see something that's the equivalent of Pearl Harbor, and they're like, yeah, it's been long enough. It's been long enough. So there is I guess a line they will cross, but you have to wait a certain amount of years before you can make fun of something, apparently, and that's exactly what they did. So they did a Pearl Harbor, but they decided not to do a 9/11, and they were actually mentioning that, and I'm just like, oh god, the backlash from that is going to be so bad. A lot of people are going to be pissed about that, but we'll wait and see. I haven't seen the backlash on it thus far, but I'm sure it's going to be there, and a lot of people are not going to be happy about this particular episode. Moving on, Jerry is beekeeping now, so that's kind of interesting. And there's a little clip at the end where one of Summer's friends is just like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. How old's your dad? He's beekeeping age." I guess, and she's like, biting your lip, looking all intent. And she's like, I want to F your dad. And I'm like, oh my God. Wow. At least Jerry's finally getting some love from somebody. So that might be a future episode where Summer's friend tries to bang Jerry. We'll just have to wait and see with that. That'll be hilarious if that actually ends up happening. And then they can do another divorce or something ridiculous like that. But basically, that's kind of the gist of the episode. They actually forgot Summer was at the Gliplor planet to begin with, and they had to go back and get her as they were eating pancakes with some fresh Jerry honey. Beth doesn't really play a huge role in this. And not a whole lot goes either. And they actually mentioned in the beginning of the episode too, like, oh, good, now that we got all of the entire trailer out of the way and all of the plot from season 3 out of the way, we can go back to be doing whatever the heck we want. You got to remember all the stuff from season 1. They could go ahead and say that's canon at any point in time. So don't expect anything to get resolved from Evil Morty or the Citadel of Rix or too much of that. At this point in time, for at least the rest of season 4. My guess is it's going to be just a bunch of crazy who knows what. And we got a tiny bit of interdimensional cable at the end of it that might be an episode again. I'm not really sure where they might throw that in there. But really, the sky is the limit as to where this can go for the rest of the season. I mean, 3 episodes left this season, and they're basically doing whatever they want. I think that's the main issue they had, is a lot of people we're like, oh, they did this whole storyline with season 3. They're going to have to end it somewhere. And then they basically reversed all of that in episode 5, or episode 6, rather, of this season. First 5 episodes were kind of just, your standard fun Rick and Morty adventure. And then they brought in episode 6 and we're like, all right, let's reverse all the plot holes, get a clean slate. And basically they have a clean slate to do whatever the heck they want moving forward. So who the heck knows what they're going to do? I think there's going to be a Jerry-centered episode still and a Summer-centered episode still. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do, if they're going to have something centered around Beth again or not, or if there's going to be a main storyline. My guess is we might see the Citadel of Rix at some point in time. They already kind of did the whole Mr. Meeseek thing. They brought back all the old characters. So who the heck knows what they're gonna do? That is the thing that is just kind of keeping me on the edge of my seat every night, because even if there's an episode I don't like with Rick and Morty, and there's a handful that I didn't particularly care for, but there's always another episode where they do something random and crazy where it brings me right back in, such as this episode with the whole iteration of aliens and giving them, minds of their own. But that's the only thing that is kind of slightly annoying too, is yes, you have the main characters, but then they introduce all these side characters and you forget the names, because 9 out of 10, you're never really going to see those characters again unless they're immensely popular. Maybe they'll bring back Pickle Rick. They haven't really had like a major catchphrase for Rick this season, and obviously that sells merchandise very well, like the Pickle Rick thing did. So it would not surprise me if there was some sort of crazy merchandise-centered episode, especially one of the last 2. I'm really hoping they don't do what they did the first half of this, where they did the first 4 episodes in a row, and then they made you wait an additional week for the last episode. But I could definitely see them doing that again, because the Rick and Morty hype is real. It is back. Everybody's loving it. And basically, they're going to try to ride the train, the infinity train, as long as they can. What they should have done is they should have brought back some friggin' Szechuan sauce. Am I right, guys? Am I right? They missed an opportunity there. People definitely would have bought it if they brought it back. So McDonald's, get on that. Get us some Szechuan sauce, in these terrible times that we're having right now. But at least we get a little bit of enjoyment, with some Rick and Morty. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.